Okay. First off, I want to thank everybody for coming today. This is obviously our first real whack of the winter. We've been very, very blessed all winter in city of Fall River and all of New England, but this is really going to be a jolt for a number of people. And I want to introduce some of the people that are going to be on the team that are going to make sure we get through this safe and sound. Behind me is our Chief of Police, Paul Garvin. From the Fire Department, we've got Ron Savigny, our EMS Director, Tim Oliveira, our Assistant EMS Director, Beth Fonts, our Director of Health and Services, Tess Curran, our FAST team member, Nikki Fontaine, our Director of Homeless at Stepping Stone, Rosa, is going to be joining us momentarily. Director of the Church of the Holy Spirit, Reverend James Medley, Good Shepherd Parish, Leanne Nelson, and Fall River Community Development Director, Mike Dion. I also see Tom Mello here, who runs our overflow shelter, and our partner from Christ the Rock Church. We're going to be highlighting a bunch of safety measures that are going to be very important for like the next 36 hours. We have an emergency hotline number. We really want everyone to focus on that number, 508-676-3528. And you can also call the mayor's office. That phone will be staffed all weekend, 508-324-2600. When you have weather like this, it's very important that everyone seeks shelter. Monday, I was with a couple of the FAST team members out at one of the homeless camp, trying to stress the importance of how bad this is going to be and how much we need to get people inside. To that end, we're going to have a warming shelter available at Pope Francis Outreach at the Good Shepherd Church on South Main Street, 8 to 4 today. Go down, grab lunch. I'm a fixture at that church, so I'm always down there, so they know me very well. It's a great place to spend an afternoon and stay warm. The YMCA is also offering to have a warming station today from 8 to 11. If you want to go by there, there will be volunteers and coffee available, so go by and get services there. And at 6 o'clock tonight, this is a new church that stepped up. There's going to be a meal at the on Pine Street at the First Baptist Church on North Main and Pine. Following the meal, there'll be a prayer service and an opportunity to reflect on your life. It's going to run all night. So they're going to keep people in a service and warm and out of that weather. The first step in, which we're waiting for Rosa to get here, we'll be offering shelter services as well as the Tomeo Center at the Spindle City Church at the bottom of Bay Street. We're not going to have anybody refuse an opportunity to be inside out of the weather, no matter what. We'll put them in whatever we can do to get them safe and warm throughout this whole event. There's not going to be anyone outside that wants to come in. Sometimes this population are reluctant participants, but at the same time, we will do whatever we can to insist that they come in. And to that end, I'm going to ask a few people to say a few words, but know full well, you need help, start the phone calls today. We will follow through on it. We have a bunch of partners here that have already been out in the community. Our fire, our police, our EMS, they know we don't want anyone out on the streets. Don't be afraid to walk up to them and ask them if they can give them a lift or they can help them. First to talk is our Chief of Police, Paul Garvin, who's also one of the partners with everyone up here in this event. So, Chief Garvin.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. First, I'd like to say the Fall River Police Department is proud to be a part of this collaborative team effort here. Starting this afternoon, the Fall River Police Department will be proactively seeking our homeless encampments, making sure that population has the information and also has some direction for the resources. We're going to do everything we can to assist the team effort here, making sure that our entire population and homeless people have every resource at their fingertips that we can provide. Beyond that, we'll also have extra forces and patrols out tonight, seeking to engage anybody who may be outside and making sure that they have somewhere to go and that they're heading in the right direction. We also have our Fall River Addiction Support Team, who's also going to be helping us as well. They've been dealing with addiction support. Also, along with that, they also deal with mental health and homeless issues as well. So they've already established a community base and relationship with a lot of our homeless population. So we're hoping tonight that helps us convince getting these people through this little crisis. And I think that's about our piece of this. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next, we'll hear from our Deputy Fire Chief, Ron Savigny, to talk about their role in this.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be part of this team as far as being proactive and preparing for this freeze. What the fire department would like to bring to the attention of everyone is to look in on each other, to be neighborly, to reach out, check in on one another. At the same time, some basic things that we want to keep in mind is some of the extraordinary measures people may go through to heat their homes or heat themselves. As part of fire safety, we'd just like to bring some simple things to everyone's attention to keep in mind to keep us warm and keep us safe. One of those things is when it comes to space heaters are the second leading cause of fires in Massachusetts. For the past 5 years, we've had about 6,600 fires caused by space heaters, improperly used or poorly maintained. Being proactive, making sure your heating equipment is working properly and operational is primarily a great beginning to maintaining a safe environment. We want to make sure everyone keeps any items 3 feet away from any space heaters. Also, when space heaters are used, they're somewhat used improperly with an extension cord. Extension cords are not rated for space heaters. They should not be used for space heater. A space heater should always be plugged directly into a wall. Also, other types of heaters, such as kerosene heaters, are illegal in Massachusetts, not acceptable, and are not a safe way to heat your home or heat yourself. With that in mind, we also want to keep check as our first line of defense in any of these events with the space heater is our smoke and CO detectors. Now would be the time to check, make sure your CO detector, smoke detector is functioning properly. That way you also have some defense in the case. If anyone is feeling any effects of carbon monoxide, those would be dizziness, lightheaded, similar symptoms to the flu. It would be a good call 911, if your CO detector is activated, and also have the fire department respond and check if there's an odor of gas. You want to evacuate the building. You want to not hit any switches or smoking, and also just call 911. So with that being said, in conclusion, the fire department has also added additional resources so we can be of assistance. If there's anything that you see, please feel free to call 911 and we will be more than happy to respond and provide the best care we possibly can. Thank you.
Also with a few comments, our EMS Director, Tim Olivera.
Good morning. The Emergency Medical Services Department has many resources available in conjunction with everybody in the team here. There is a hotline for EMS that's 24/7. Those are people out on the street, just like the police and the FAST addiction team. We'll be working in conjunction with the mayor's office and all the team members. All our crews are equipped with all the contacts, and we're equipped to transport, if necessary, to shelters or to warming shelters also. The state has issued a waiver for medical rescues to transport to shelters from the encampments until I believe 6 p.m. Sunday. So we should be in good shape on the EMS side. And I think with everybody in collaboration, I believe that this is going to work out very well for the city and the program that the mayor has implemented here. Thank you.
Okay, Tess Curran, our Health Director.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to make a note that frostbite can happen very quickly, that individuals who are unhoused while are particularly vulnerable seniors, children are also vulnerable to these conditions. So it's really critical that you avoid going outdoors as much as possible over the next few days. If you are going to be outdoors, wearing appropriate clothing and protecting yourself with hats, mittens, because again, this frostbite or other conditions can happen very rapidly. Again, reiterating to check in on your neighbors, again, those vulnerable populations, especially seniors and infants and young children should be checked in on to make sure that everybody is safe. And again, vehicles are also not a safe shelter. So if anybody in the community sees anybody in a vehicle, we'd want to make sure that a number is called to the emergency lines that the mayor has provided, and we make sure that those people get appropriate shelter. Thank you.
Okay, on the forefront, we have our FAST team member, Nicole Fontaine. She's already been at this all week.
Thanks, Mayor. Just briefly, I want to give a quick update that Church of Holy Spirit updated last night that they're going to be opening at 4 today. So there will not be any gaps until tomorrow at 4. We will have Good Shepherd today till 4, directly to Church of the Holy Spirit till 7, and then First Baptist will open until 7 in the morning, and then 7 in the morning tomorrow, Christ the Rock until 4. In between those things, our fast response team, Nicole, Detective Mello, Justin, and myself, we've already been out all week making sure we got to these encampments, and everyone knows our 24-hour hotline number, which is 508-676-3528. We have been at this for the last year. We have built a lot of relationships, but there's a lot of new faces and people that are ashamed of their situation. Please call. I've been there. We've all been there. We're here to help you. We don't want to see you out in the cold, and we will be transporting throughout the entire night. So thank you.
Just a few more, guys. I'd like to call up our overflow shelter director, Pastor Tom Mello, Lisa Mello, and Pastor Rob from Christ Rock Church. Tom, did you want to say something? Or okay, so that's our overflow shelter on Bay Street. They'll be open whatever they need to open to get through this whole thing with us. With that being said, our last speaker is the Church of the Holy Spirit, Reverend James Medley. Again, these are groups that have stepped up in a time of crisis to add to the mix of services we're getting to the needy populations.
Thank you, Mayor. You should never let a Southern preacher have the last word. Church of the Holy Spirit is part of the Greater Fall River Council of Churches, is going to be open from 7 p.m. tonight to 7 a.m. tomorrow for a prayer and meditation service. The pews are pretty comfortable, so I've slept there before, so it might be all right. I've seen people sleep through my sermons. That's okay. First Baptist, as part of the Greater Fall River Council of Churches, will offer a meal at 6, and at 7 o'clock, they'll bring people up to Holy Spirit, which is on Rock Street, 160 Rock Street entrance. Everybody's welcome. We'll have coffee. I've been told that the mayor's going to get us donuts for the morning. So it should be a nice, warm place to sit and meditate. Everything will be fine. And we are happy to partner with the mayor and the rest of the city to do what we can at this time, because that's our Christian calling, is to help those who need help. Thank you, Mayor.
So that wraps it up. I just want people to know this is a team effort. No one can do this on their own. Everybody plays a key piece in this puzzle, and we're going to make sure we get through this with minimum disruption, and we keep people safe and warm, and we come out the other side. With that being said, anybody have any questions? Transport.
We have multiple vehicles, so as soon as they call, we will be going out to the outreach encampments to see if they want transport there. But as soon as someone calls, we actually have a call that we're heading to right away. So we have that hotline that multiple people man, so we'll be able to get to different people at different times, the same time. Yes. Yes, no one will have to walk. Yep.
Anything else, guys? Okay, my message would be stay inside, stay warm, watch a few movies. Because of our fortunate winter we're already having, by Sunday, we'll be back to what I consider normal, winter temperatures. We'll all be back outside by then, but again, for this next 2 days, later this afternoon and all day on Saturday, stay home. Stay home, enjoy the day, and we'll see you on Sunday.